Obey quickly. Because essentially any disobedience, any unforgiveness, any offense, any idols in our lives, if we don't surrender them to God, like Troy was saying, the word surrender, if we don't surrender them, they'll eventually become barriers between us and God, and it'll keep us from going deeper. They're like rocks in the ground that you can't go any deeper. Some of those lava rocks, the blue rock is huge, right? Huge, and they're in our way. We can dig all around it all we want, but it's not going anywhere, and we can't put anything in it until that big old rock gets busted up. So sometimes that offense and the unforgiveness and all those things, the idols, those are the big rocks, and we have to just surrender and say, God, okay, you take it away because it's not doing me any good, and I can't move forward. I can't finish the project. I can't do what you called me to do with that in the way. Amen? None of that was in my notes, so whoever that was for. I don't know if any of you ever took swimming lessons as a kid, but for some reason I still have that memory of taking swimming lessons. And what I remember is the whole goal is to get to the deep end, right? But as a kid, you can't really stay in the deep end for too long because it'll wear you out. It's tiring. It requires more effort and endurance. Luke 5, 4 to 6. This is Jesus and Peter. Now when he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a while. And Simon answering said unto him, Master, we've toiled all night and we've taken nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net. And when they had done this, they enclosed a great multitude of fish, and their net broke. So Peter was actually super comfortable in the shallow. But it says that he was a seasoned fisherman, which is so interesting. Because you don't see a lot of fishermen just staying in the shallow end, right? Especially if they've been doing it for a long time. But it's interesting to me. Ouch. Ouch. But Jesus, when he got involved, when he got in the boat, he said, look, Peter, you need to go out deeper. You need to go out deeper. And Peter, he could have got offended. He could have been prideful because he's a fisherman, right? He's been doing this a long time. He knows what he's doing. But he didn't. He humbled himself. And he said, okay, I'm going to let go of how I always do things, and I'm going to trust you, God. And guess what? He got the biggest harvest. That sometimes our old way of doing things and our routines and the things that we hold on to because we have it figured out, those things actually hold us back from the breakthrough that we're praying for. Right? Peter could have said, no, this is how you do it right here. But he didn't. He trusted God. And the thing is that he can do it easily in his own strength in the shallow. Anybody can swim in the shallow. I could probably put a toddler in the shallow and they would be fine. But whenever he called him out into the deep, he had to trust more on God. And that's what happens, is that we get to activate our faith. Peter had to trust God, but he got a marvelous harvest. And I don't know about you, but I want a marvelous harvest in my own life. And not to be able to say, oh, I chose comfort. No, but that I chose difficulty. But the thing is that when we follow him out into the deep water, he's there to catch us. And guess what? We don't get the glory for it because we can't survive in the deep very long because we'll just spin our wheels. We'll run out of energy if we try to do it all on our own strength. But if we'll lean on him and if we'll be obedient, then he'll see us through. And guess what? He gets all the glory. Peter didn't get the glory for all those fish. Jesus did. Jesus got all the glory because he did it. May that be the case in our own lives this morning, that he would get all the credit. You know, staying in the shallow is easy and it's fun. It's easy and it's fun. That's why they make those lazy rivers. They make those lazy rivers in shallow water. Has anybody ever been in a lazy river? Like at a water park? Yeah. They're fun because you just plop down on one of those things and you go around and you just are lazy. And it's fun.